Hello, dear friends. So we continue with our stories, and then the last stories we're talking about the law of cause effect, and then the law of cause effect can only be. I'm not sure if I should use the word defeated or can only be surpassed with the divine love of Christ. And then here is first time, and Bruno mentioned about the love of Christ, first time ever. So in openly, and then he normally doesn't mention about Christ, and I'm in the organization is called Circle Friends, Bruno Groning Circle Friends, very good organization. They do not mention Christ because every time you mention Christ, and people believe, oh, you're Christian, it's because people's so heavily conditioned. So when you mention Christ, it's Christianity. When you mention Buddha, it's Buddhism. It doesn't mean like that, dear friends. You must think out of the boxes. So the Christ came to the world, not only for the Jews, and then lots of Jews won't like to believe that. So it's not only come for the Christians. It's come for the whole human beings, the humanity. It come for the whole world. It's very simple, like the Buddha too. Buddha did not come to the world for the Buddhists. The Buddha came to the world and became enlightened, and then his knowledge is passed on to whole humanity. So same thing with lots of great people ever lived in histories, lots of great philosophers. All the knowledge they're talking about is for the whole humanity. It's not for a certain group. It's not a cult. Like lots of people like to possess their ideas, they feel they are superior, and then they know something more than other human beings. It's not like that, dear friend. As Bruno mentioned here in the story, the one who walked on the wrong path as a result of the lures of seduction of the evil, and then if he has walked on the wrong path for 20 years, and then because of the demand of the law of cause effect, and he must walk back, all the way back to the beginning point where he decided to walk on the wrong path, and he has to travel all the way back. It's like okay, you want to go to from A to B, and then but you got lost. Same thing, you got lost, you walk on the wrong path, and instead of going from A to B, you want to C, and you have to walk all the way back from C to A, and then you start your journey again. That's often what's happened to people. If you go to the wrong direction, tough luck. You're gonna walk all the way back, and before you get on and walk on the right direction again. So that's the same thing with the law of cause effect. So the harsh law demands if you have done the wrong thing for 20 years, you must have doing the right thing for 20 years. So which is if somebody taken anybody else's life, so you must pay with your own life. That is what the law has demanded before the coming of Christ, before Christ came to the world. So with Christ's teaching, with Christ coming to the world, his love, and then it makes the forgiving and forgetting possible. So as what Bruno said, it discharged the guilt much quicker. So by practicing what Christ teaching, what did Christ teach? It's very simple. Of course, lots of people read thousands of pages of Bible, and then they get so many ideas about this and that. I only remember two things. Christ said, you love God with all your mind, your soul, your spirit, and your strength. And then Christ said, you love your neighbors as yourself. That's his teaching. That's what I remember, two things. The most important, love your neighbors as yourself. So as long as we thriving on Christ's teaching, love our neighbors as ourselves, receive love from God and pass it on. That's what I always believe, because we can't give what we don't have if we don't have a love for ourselves. how can we have a love for others? So with this teaching and through this teaching, and then we discharge our karma almost instantly, as what Bruno said. It might happen in the very next moment you discharge your karma. And then all this spiritual healing is always a grace of God. And most people, and as he said, when he was giving a speech, and there's lots of people present here cannot grasp this idea, this reality. If they know that they can, through the teaching of Christ, discharge the guilt so quick as beyond the possibility they could think of, and then they will not have the sad faces, they will not have the gloomy thoughts. They'll be very, very hopeful for the future. It's people's perception of reality. Lots of people perceive, even though he's in the very, very desperate situation, and he always believes there's a hope. There's a hope, and then there's a way out. That's very, very positive thinking, and then he will find a way. And lots of people, when they encounter some small difficulties, and then they give up. They don't persevere. They don't push forward. That's why they do not get through their life struggles. They get stuck there always. Have you experienced people around you? They always get stuck there. Even little things they can't get. There might be a moth in the room, or even little spider in the room. They get scared, and then they couldn't go to sleep. They couldn't get rid of them. They couldn't go to sleep. They get stuck there. How can you allow yourself to be disturbed? Allow your peace to be disturbed by something really, really tiny, really, really small. You need to be strong enough. If you're not strong enough, go and work on growing your strength, growing your nerve. That's okay. Everybody has fear, and everybody can be scared. But you shouldn't stay there forever, dear friends. And lately, Bruno said again, it's very important about finding your God. And he said, as long as God is thought only from the outside, no one can find him. It is only once one succeeds in bringing one's own vibration in line with the divine vibration that one will experience his inwardly. And then he does not need to be searched anymore. It's very, very important here, vibrations. How many people talking about vibrations back to 1950s? Not even today. So you remember what Nikola Tesla said? If you want to know the truth of the universe, thinking about the frequency, vibrations, and energy. So, same thing with God. We must tune into the divine vibration to be able to know God, to be able to find God. So, work on your vibrations, dear friends. What vibration I'm talking about? You know that. Love. Love vibrations. Keep loving. And then you'll see, and you'll find God at the end. I wish you have a good day, and God bless.